Good morning on this cold, frosty, foggy morning. I thought I'd come on today and take part in the hashtag that Simon started last night about Christmas and Yule. So I had listened to his, and so I thought I'd come on and do mine this morning. So the first question was, what is your favourite Yule or Christmas memory? Um, for me, it's always been Christmas. It's only recently that I've started following the path that I'm on, and I've never really participated in the Yule side of things. That will have changed by next year, I'd say. But all of my memories and everything up to date are Christmas. So all my ones will be to do with the celebration of Christmas. So my favourite all-time Christmas memory is quite hard because all of my memories of Christmas have special meanings. But one that probably will always stay in my mind as those years when I was growing up as a child, when everything was exciting. I mean, it was different. I mean, I was born 1967, so my early years was through the 70s, a completely different world to what we live in today. And it wasn't materialistic like it is today. You know, we didn't expect much and we never got much. Um, Shops used to close from Christmas to New Year's, and it was a time that families all got together, factories shut down, etc., etc. So it's a completely different world to what we have today. But I loved it. I loved those memories from that time. Um, the one memory that really sticks out a lot for me was my mum's decorations. Always really, she always decorated loads. She loved to decorate, always with a real tree and all the different colours. And she used to put all these ceiling ones. In them days, she used to have these twirls, what used to hang from the ceiling. They was like a tin foil material, and they used to dangle from the ceiling. And me and my brother used to stand on the sofa, and we realised if we jumped from the sofa, we could hit them as we sort of went back to the floor, sort of jump in the air, give them a whack, and then fall to the floor, and then back up to the sofa and up. And we'd spend ages doing that. It was just fun for us. Do you know what I mean? And that is something that has always stayed with me, the laughing and the giggling that we used to do, jumping up just to knock these things off, till we got into trouble for knocking them off the ceiling completely. But it's memories like that what make my memories of Christmas really special, because my brother's no longer here. I lost him in 1991 at 25, and there was only 14 months between us, and we used to get into all sorts of scrapes, Christmas included. And that was a memory that will always stay with me. It's such an, to everybody else it's nothing, do you know what I mean? It's just silly little children's thing, but to me that was what made Christmas, being with my family and just laughing and having fun. So that is probably my favourite Christmas memory. The second question is the favourite Christmas or Yule tradition. Again, like I say, mine will all be Christmas. Um, the only really traditional thing that my family ever had, there wasn't churchgoers or nothing like that, so we didn't go to church. My dad didn't believe in anything like that, so we never was told to go to church. He never went to church, only for the norm, funeral, christenings, weddings. So the only really traditional thing that we used to have in our family was my mum's parents used to have, from Boxing Day right through to the New Year, an open house. It was a well-known thing within the family, that you just went there when you wanted to. From any day, Boxing Day all day was absolutely jammed packed of people, food, drink, but that would carry on to the New Year and beyond. Um, my granddad was Yugoslavian, so he loved to feed people, loved to give them drinks. So there was always plenty of food and plenty of drinks, plenty of laughs, plenty of fun. My mum's one of 12, And obviously they was married and had children of their own, so the house would be bursting with neighbours and family, just having a good Christmas, just having a laugh, a drink, and a good joke, and you know. And I used to adore those Christmases. They lasted until the mid-80s when we lost Grandad, and Christmas has never been the same since. It's really strange, isn't it? Because nobody in the family took over that. We all talk about, oh, you know, those Christmases all those years ago, but not anymore, because nobody. We all do our own things now. But that was really the only Christmas tradition that we had. Everybody went to Nan and Grandad's, and everybody had a good time. I used to pretend I'd fell asleep on the sofa so I could stay longer when Mum and Dad went home. So they're the kind of Christmases that I had. Number 3, favourite Christmas or Yule decoration or altarpiece. I don't really decorate much for Christmas. I used to when the children was little, but all my children are grown, and even though I've got grandchildren, they're not here an awful lot full time, like, so I don't really have one. I gave a lot of my decorations that I had when my children was growing up to my children, so they have them now in their home for their children, my grandchildren. So they're all there, and all I really put up in my home is Christmas tree and a couple of figures, and only a couple, and a Christmas clock, and that's about all of my Christmas decorations. I don't decorate. I haven't got a huge house anyway, it's only a small house, so there's probably more decorations on the outside than there is on the inside, but yeah, so that one I don't really have any. My favourite Yule Christmas food or drink. So food is boiled bacon, gammon. That again comes from my childhood, where Grandad used to make this huge piece of, he used to boil it. Nowadays mainly people will bake it, but Grandad always used to boil it, and I used to smell it, and then when he used to put it on the side, I'd be in the kitchen taking chunks off it, and I still love it to this day. So even though sometimes we'll have that throughout the year, it always reminds me of Christmas at Nan and Grandad's, when Grandad used to come out with this huge piece of boiled bacon and put on the side, and he always knew where to go when there was chunks missing out of it. He always knew it was me. So that's probably my favourite food. And my favourite drink is port or sherry, and I only ever drink that at Christmas. And again, that comes from my childhood at my grandparents, because even as little children, Grandad would always allow us to have a small glass of port or a small glass of sherry, because he thought it was only right that we all was able to celebrate together. So they was the only 2 drinks we was allowed. But even now at Christmas, I do like to have a glass of sherry or a glass of port in memory of my Nan and Grandad and those years. So that's probably the only, and I mean, I'm not a big drinker anyway. If I drink in the year, which is very rarely, it will be a glass of wine. Very rarely will I drink anything other than a glass of wine. So I'm not a drinker anyway, but at Christmas I do tend to make an exception and just have that small sherry or small port. My favourite Yuletide Christmas deck. Well, again, I don't really have decks for different seasons or things like that, but one what I have got on my altar that I brought with the intentions of Yule is the Green Witch, simply because the backs, I mean, I do love the actual images, but I'm using it for Yule simply for the back, because I think that's really, you couldn't get no better than that really. So you'll have all seen the images, you know, themselves earth based, but they're not Christmassy. Saying that, the Hermit or the Holly King as it's called is Christmassy, but on the whole they're just the standard deck, with the pagan take. So there we go. So that is one deck that I will be using over Yule. And the other deck that I will be using, because I had these out the other day, and Madwitch made me a gorgeous bag which that I've put them in, and I do love these, and it's the Voice of the Trees. And again, it's not Christmassy, but I love this deck, and I've had it put away for so long, you know, it's time I use it again. And it has got trees in, and you know, most people have trees. this time of year. So why not use the voice of the trees? So this is what I should be working with over the next couple of weeks, simply because I can and simply because I like them. And like I said, they're not Yule decks. I haven't got any Christmas or Yule decks, but those will be the two that I'll be using. Then the last question is a wild card. What I love most about Yule or Christmas. So this one is quite simple, really. I love the build up. I love the build up to Christmas. I love all the excitement, what's around in children. I love to see their faces when they open their presents, and I love to see them getting excited about Santa Claus coming. And when my children was little, we'd build it up. There'd be a Christmas story, you know, the night before Christmas, on Christmas Eve, and it was just all those little things, to see their faces and to see the excitement build up in them, that I really enjoy about this season. I think nowadays it's too commercial. It's all too much based on who can buy the most expensive gift for their child. I'm not like that. My children don't get hundreds and hundreds of pounds spent on them. They don't need it. There's no reason for it, so they don't get it. They all get gifts, and they all get gifts that they want, but I won't and I don't go out and spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds. I have 9 grandchildren, so 7 children. They've got partners, or 5 of them have got partners. So no, 4. Oh, 5. No, there's 4 of them got partners. 3 of them still at home, teenagers. But no, so they don't get hundreds of pounds each. That would cost me thousands. I don't have that sort of money, and there's no reason to spend that sort of money. It's completely lost the sense of what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's a time for giving, yes, but not in monetary terms. You know, it's more to do with the way we treat people and the way, you know, that we are. So, you know what I mean? It's not about who can buy the teacher the most expensive gift, or who can buy their child the most expensive gift, which is come to today. And the only fault of that is the parents. You know, it's the parents who go against each other. Well, I bought my child this for £1,000. Oh, I bought it. You know, it's silly. In my day, I got a colouring book, a packet of crowns, and one main present, which was maybe a doll. If I was lucky, a scooter or a bike. And they was great. That was great. I don't need, you know, you don't need computers and the latest iPhone, and you know that nowadays it's expected to, and then I kind of think it's lost its spirit along the way. And it's very sad. It's very sad. But that is modern life, I guess. And I still hark on about the old days, as my children say, and called me a bit old-fashioned. But then that was my childhood, and it was a wonderful, wonderful time of the year, which I don't feel that we get nowadays. It starts in August, and it's just competitiveness all the time, and I try not to bring that into this house. It's more to do with about the gift, however small that gift is, the joy from receiving it from that person, rather than what that gift is inside, if you know what I mean. So that's my Christmas favourites. I shall be looking out for other people who do this hashtag, and speak to you soon. Bye.